trip behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Pahrump TV. Pahrump TV.
Okay, everybody, it's Pahrump TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode here. We got a great interview coming up for you in just a moment or two. But if you haven't yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell, and anytime a new episode comes your way, you'll be notified. And if you'd like to leave a comment on the comment section, you're welcome to. And we're also on Facebook, facebook.com/Pahrump TV. And you can follow us there, send us an inbox, even comment the things you can see there. And we're on email as well, Pahrump all one word, @gmail.com. And if you're a band or a solo artist that want to be on the show, send us an email and we'll show you how to do that. And we love fan mail as well, so if you're simply a fan, go ahead and send us a fan letter and we'll get back to you. And all this will be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. In just a moment, we're going to have John Michael Ferrari from Pahrump, Nevada. Another talented artist, I think you're going to agree here. And we'll get to that in a second as it starts right now. Okay, here we are, and with us from Pahrump, Nevada, we have John Michael Ferrari. And he's a very talented artist, obviously. Thanks for coming on the show, John.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for having me on the show. It's our privilege, our honor to be here.
Yeah, well, we're always glad to have artists like yourself on the show. Well, tell us how it all began for you. I mean, have you always wanted to be an artist? Did you just kind of decide to do it later? I mean, tell us in your own words how it all started for you.
Well, I was about 7, 8 years old. I got my first guitar. And I remember looking in the mirror, trying to figure out how to hold the thing. I didn't know hold it this way or hold it that way. And I cleverly thought, well, I'll go look at a picture of Elvis, and however he's holding the guitar, that's how I'm going to hold it. And that's how I got started. I think my first chord was a C chord. That's what I learned, my first C chord.
All right. Well, you're obviously talented at what you do, and hopefully you'll have a few more years left in you, hopefully, and making people happy with your music, and that's what it's all about.
Well, it's been an interesting ride. I've been honored that I could make a living at it, and I think anybody can make a living at music, but you have to have the talent and the determination, and people have to find you interesting. You can be a musician or you can be an entertainer. There's a big difference. When you see musicians that are playing in the corner, just playing one song after the next, they're talented musicians. But then when you see an entertainer that comes out and he entertains an audience, puts on a show, that's something different again. So you have to make up your mind. Are you going to be a musician or an entertainer?
Yeah, you got a good point there. And I just hope you'll be doing this for a long time, though, like I said. And well, what were some of the artists you grew up with that you listened to help inspire you to be the artist you are today? I mean, I'm sure there's some, popular bands that really inspired you.
Well, I think we were all inspired by Elvis and Ricky Nelson and all those kind of guys. And then we moved into the 60s. It was, the Beatles, of course. They changed the world. But more than anything, I liked the artist, but I loved the music. I loved listening to the music. I loved trying to understand why they did the certain things they did, why the string lines went there, and why the drum parts did this, and what kind of fills did they do there. So I looked at the full arrangements, and then I started getting more interested in the arrangers like Quincy Jones and people like that. And over the years, Burt Bacharach, their ability to arrange music, that's what I became interested in. So by the time I started doing my own songs, I was influenced by the format and the way they put songs together from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and the arrangements. So, my songs today, and a lot of them being played on the radio, what do they call that? A flashback to the, my songs are current because we're on the charts today, but
modern throwback.
It's a modern throwback of the songs of the 60s and 70s. I do today's music, but I use the structure and format and the arrangements of that of the 70s. So it kind of works an interesting twist in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when you even mentioned some of the classics like the Beatles, Ricky Nelson, Elvis, obviously, very talented artist like yourself, and it's just too bad that we lost Ricky Nelson so early.
Oh, yeah.
That's when the plane crash in the 80s, I do believe it was. And but yeah, those are definitely good artists.
And I loved going to Vegas. I grew up as a kid in Las Vegas, and I had the opportunity to go see some of the main showroom entertainers. Sammy Davis Jr. You can watch Sammy Davis Jr. on TV in the old shows, but it's not the same as you being there. That was the whole thing, because you saw one segment. When Sammy Davis comes on and he does a song or two, then he's off the stage. In the TV, he's usually a guest. But when you see him in live, you see a true entertainer. You really get the full impact of what they mean by a true entertainer. For an hour and a half, this man comes and sings, dance, performs, plays instruments. He entertains you. He takes the audience to a whole new place. And that's the idea of an entertainer. Is when the audience comes in, you want to take them someplace to get their mind off of all the problems and things that they were thinking about in the daytime. Mm-hmm. They come there and they pay good money. You give them an experience, and that's the whole idea, But so in my music appreciation, it's that whole thing with the arranging, the listening to an artist, an entertainer. I love the musicians. I mean, I'm just fortunate I got to do this for a living.
Mm. Well, that's great. Tell us a little bit how we can find out how to get your music and find out about you on social media, because I'm sure a lot of people would love to get your music.
Well, you can go to johnmichaelferrari.com, and just that one website, it'll take you just wherever you want to go. I think it'll take you to Reverb Nation, Spotify. The thing about Reverb Nation, I have a lot of songs up there, even the demo songs that we did before going to Nashville and recording them. I always think it's interesting to hear what the songs sound like, what we recorded in our studio, what we put together, and when we took that to Nashville, how it evolved and how much better the musicians made the song. I mean, it sounded good. People listen to what we do here in our own studio and they go, "Oh, that sounds really good. You should put that on the radio." I said, "No, there's a big difference between doing songs in a home studio and going to Nashville and recording them with real musicians. Big difference."
Yeah, there is. And how about on social media? You're on Facebook, Instagram, so forth?
Facebook, Instagram, and my own, yeah. Just about all those places, and if you're lost, you just put in John Michael Ferrari in Google, and from there, there's a lot of options where you can go and listen to my music. And we have a new song that just came out called "Music with You." It comes out today, or
it comes out on the 15th of May.
On the 15th of May, our new song, "Music with You."
Okay. All right. Well, check out all that music from John Michael Ferrari. Just go to that website, johnmichaelferrari.com, and check out all those sites, even social media. And I know he would love you for that. And you just mentioned music for You, I think you said the title was.
Music with You.
Music with You, I'm sorry. Tell us a little bit about that song. I'm sure there's a great story behind that.
I don't know, but it's an interesting story, I guess. I had the title, "I Want Music with You," and I'm not sure where it came from. It didn't make much sense because it did not. I don't know how you say it. I've never heard anybody say that before. "I want music with you," but I thought it's an interesting title, and I one day driving in my car, I heard one of my songs come on the radio, and that became one of my first verses about driving in my car, listening to my song on the radio, and how special that meant to me. And then I thought about on my way to a job, what I wanted to do that night was to share my music with all these people and my feelings of appreciation. And that's what the song's really about, is appreciation, to have the ability to share my music with other people.
Okay, well, that is a great story, and we'll be watching that in just a moment. And maybe before we get into that, I just want to thank you again, John Michael Ferrari, for coming on the show. Come back anytime you want to promote something new, and we'll have you back on.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Okay, and here it is, Music With You, and it starts right now.
Strum my guitar across the strings. You've come tonight to hear me sing. You might have heard my song on the radio. I was pleased to hear them play it too, about a girl I once knew, the brightest light from the nearest star. Well, driving my car, I've come to music with you. Share the light, harmony with me tonight. Hear applause, feel the glow. Sing along, enjoy the show. It's a dream come true.
It's a dream come true.
I've come to music with you. Treasure in, we open our hearts and love comes in. A stranger is kind, don't it blow your mind? Oh, the promises we never make, all the ones our heart most like to take. The brightest light from the nearest star, that's what you are. I've come to music with you. Share the light, harmony with me tonight. Hear applause, feel the glow. Sing along, enjoy the show. It's a dream come true.
It's a dream come true.
I've come to music with you. Saturday night, the place is packed. Just follow the noise, the sound of joy is where it's at. It's my dream come true. I want the music with you. Share the light, harmony with me tonight. Hear applause, feel the glow. Sing along, enjoy the show. It's a dream come true.
It's a dream come true.
I've come to music with you. It's my dream come true. I've come to music with you.